Okay, here we are in our 77-part series, Life and Times of Florence Orr and Wisdom to be Gained Therefrom.
Better known as floss.
Better known as floss. So, given the impending birth of my first child, we thought we'd just have a small but targeted, focused session on the types of things that you learned as a mother, particularly when the child was, 0 to 6 months.
I learned how much I didn't know.
Perfect. It was excellent. I'm sure we will learn the exact same thing.
You can have all the education in the world.
Mm-hmm. And what did you feel like you would have liked to have learned more about prior to it going on, in retrospect?
To be more relaxed.
Yeah.
To little things.
Things were easier than you thought, maybe?
No, I think I probably made things more important than they really were.
Such as what? Feeding?
For instance, when you were born, then I was very much easygoing.
Letting it ride.
Yeah, well, a baby is a little baby for a very short time.
Mm-hmm.
And as the years went by, and as I realize now, those years go by so fast, so you should enjoy every second.
Mm-hmm.
Every second.
Weren't you afraid about making the wrong decision, though, about eating or sleeping, or...?
No. I was pretty confident.
Really?
The thing about Brad was, when he started eating food, I'm sure I've told you this on other occasions. Holy Blues beets all over the kitchen?
No.
Oh.
How
I
when?
like beets, and none of you kids like beets ever.
I like beets now.
I've always liked beets.
When did you feed him beets? What age was he? Under 6 months?
Oh, no. You start with applesauce and bananas. And of course, cereal's your first thing, I guess. I don't know what they do nowadays. Things are very different.
At what? 2 months? Bananas?
Once
8 weeks?
They seem to not get filled up on milk, seem to want to eat more, then you can start the cereal. Now, every pediatrician is different, so you just go by what they tell you to do.
Mm-hmm. What about sleeping? Who was the best sleeper?
Well, Jackie was the best sleeper. She still is, I think. I told you, she went through the night at about 6 weeks. So, she was easy.
What about Brad? How long did it take him?
It took him longer, but I don't really remember.
Did you feel sleep deprived?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you always do. Especially the first one. I think I told you, you look at the calendar and maybe 2 weeks has gone by, and you think, is that all? It feels like it's been 2 months. Because your sleep is up and down, and I was not one that could take a nap like you can. I've never been able to do that.
What about Sam? Was he up taking care of the kids?
He was at work.
So he didn't get up?
No, not really. Well, when you're nursing, you guys have it easy.
Yeah, we get a free pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when do they start crawling and things? Did Brad?
Well,
Jackie?
Brad, being the first child, I remember spending afternoons with him on the bed and teaching him how to pull his back legs up and to crawl, and I was pushing him. Brad was walking at 9 months. And Brad, I know I told you the story. Those were back in the days when you had your bricks and a board and bricks and a board. That was your library. Perfect height for a 2-year-old. And Brad loved to go by and just pull all the books out. And we'd slap his hand. Oh, he would still do it. So he finally got over it. Or we tied ropes across there or something to keep. However, I'll have to tell you that Jackie came along. I did everything but tie her legs together to keep her from walking. She walked about 11 months. And that's about, you were 10 or 11, 11 months walking, yeah.
Well, the books in our place are up on a 12-foot ladder, so
That's good.
the kid will have a hard time getting up there for a little
But you
while.
have to watch the sockets.
Mm-hmm.
We got those plugs that you put in the sockets.
Mm-hmm.
But when they walk early, you got to get down that level and see what they're seeing. You'd be amazed, especially when you have those cats.
Now, did you have a cat when Jackie or Brad were infants?
No, we got Blackie. We went down to and got Blackie was this little.
And that was your first pet, and the cats came later?
No, we had Muffin, and Muffin got killed when I was about 3 months pregnant with Brad. And I was devastated. I mean, I just, anyway. And then we got Scamper. We had Scamper on Boise Avenue. So Peter and Jackie were little.
Jackie and Brad.
Yeah.
I was 9 years away.
Hey. And then we had to put the cats in the kennel or whatever we did when we drove it. But then he had Blackie in the cold VW driving back.
No heat.
No heat.
I see. And vaccinations? Do you remember any of the vaccination stuff? Did that all just happen automatically? Yeah.
Well, we didn't have, they have polio now. I don't think we had that back when Brad and Jackie were, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I think they might have. I think polio was 56, I think.
Oh, well, maybe they did then. I don't know.
And so what was the toughest thing? You think you made it harder? You said you had to be more relaxed? That's what you learned?
Yeah, you kind of, I didn't worry so much about those things, I don't think. Although I did worry because the only thing Brad would eat were hot dogs. So I asked the doctor about that, and he said, as long as they're beef, whatever, he said he'll get over it, and he eventually did. He was tough going to kindergarten and stuff. I mean, as far as eating, they're not used to eating. Although they came home for lunch. Kindergarten. I don't remember, any special things.
You, as far as getting through on the sleeping, you just slept 4 hours a night or something, and you didn't nap during the day?
I might have rested when they were down, but that seemed to be the time when I could get things done. And I'll have to say, now this is a revelation and stuff isn't even around anymore. But was it because I wasn't getting stuff done? Anyway, the doctor put me on some pill. And I'm telling you, I could scrub floors and do wallpapering and hang the laundry and take care of Brad, and it was a, whatever it was.
The doctor gave you
I
speed?
felt great. Yeah, it gave me speed. I felt great.
Wow.
I raised,
Was this
it was
for
wonderful.
For Brad and Jackie, or just?
No, I think that was after Brad.
Just Brad.
I think maybe they took it off the market. I thought it was the greatest thing ever.
Wow.
Yeah, I got off the cloud, I guess.
And what about playing with stuff? Brad was born right around the same time our daughter will be born, sort of October, November-ish. It became winter. I guess you were in Coronado, so it was nice the whole time. And so when do they start playing with toys, or they just play with stuff that's around?
Oh, well, you start with things. Of course, I was always buying toys more advanced, because I'm sure you children could do them, and you did. Remember we still have it. You should take that.
What?
The different plastic squares. There was a square and a star and a half moon and a
Blockhead?
circle, and you had to drop it in the right circle, in the right thing. I think it's still in your closet.
The little puzzle. Yeah.
No, it's
The
plastic
shapes?
stand.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And puzzles, wood puzzles.
What about reading? Did you read to the
Oh, I read
infants?
to you all the time.
Even as infants, or did you wait till talk?
6 months at least I started.
Hmm.
And they had, I don't see them now, but they had fabric books. So the kid couldn't tear it apart or anything.
Right.
Those were neat. I haven't seen any recently. I don't know, maybe they don't make them anymore.
Right.
Yeah, we read a lot. And of course, Candyland that was one game your father would play with you.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But that probably wasn't until we were two.
till later on.
Yeah.
Well, you can be,
So you had epidurals for all your births themselves?
I
No.
was out.
You were out completely.
Well, not completely.
You were out, but not completely?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I knew what was happening, but I didn't have an epidural. I had whatever they give you.
They gave you epidurals. You sure?
No, I didn't. I never had a needle. That's a needle in the spine, right?
No.
I never had that.
Huh. And were your labors long?
Brad was. Jackie,
He was 8 pounds. How big was Brad?
no, all of you were 7 something. No matter, even though I gained 24, 25 with Brad and Jackie, and then with you, because I was so old and I knew it'd be hard to get rid of that weight, I gained 13 pounds.
Wow. Mm-hmm. All right.
And I pretty much lived on egg custard, and I'm sure that's why you love eggs. And the
Shrimp.
night you were born, I was at a party and ate a bunch of shrimp, so I'm sure that's why you like shrimp.
Yeah. And seafood, yeah.
And your father was in Minneapolis applying for a job or whatever.
When I was born.
And they told me that I would be later because there was some woman in there having her 7th child. And but as it turned out, you hatched before she did.
I was always fast. On the draw. All right. Well, that is wonderful insight. Is there anything else you'd like to share that you recall that made an impression?
You probably don't want me to share part of your problem.
Part of my problem? What, nursing? Oh, yeah. No, that's fine. I was a bedwetter until my 20s. Well,
Yeah.
maybe not 20.
And your father kept saying, when he's 13, he'll stop, because then they won't take him in the service. And your 13th birthday,
I would think if I was
I said, well, he doesn't know it.
if I was smart, I would have waited till 14 then. That way I'd be
Yeah,
avoiding it.
you got that from your father's side of the family. He claimed he was a bedwetter, but I think he just did that to make you feel okay.
I think that's probably a little beyond the infant year stories, actually.
That's what I
I think
said.
you're pretty much going to be a bedwetter at that
was
point.
on my mind.
What about nursing? You nursed Brad and Jackie.
Well, as I told you, Brad, they had staph infection in the hospital in those days. So they did not bring Brad to me. I didn't see him. I held him or anything for 3 days till I went home. And by then he was used to the bottle and he did not want to have anything to do with me. I tried. We went and got the breast pump and we did this and we did that. And after 3 weeks, I was afraid he wasn't getting enough. So I went all to the bottle. And Jackie, as I said, she slept at 6 weeks So it seemed kind of silly to keep on with that.
Mm.
In those days, I don't think they harvested it and put it in the refrigerator. I don't remember about that. And you've heard it a million times. I came down with breast fever.
Mm.
Very, very painful. I had 104, 105, and I just had to quit.
Mm. All right.
So,
Well, worked out
too bad.
regardless. Worked out
but
anyway.
we moved, in 3 weeks. It would have been hard to be. You were 3
Months.
months, yeah. You would have been done by then anyway, so. That's
All
the
right.
story of that.
Well, thank you very much for your insight.
It'll be interesting to see how your little one does.
Yeah, it sure will. Always is.
But no two children are alike.
No.
You have to remember that. What you do for one may not necessarily work for the second one.
Right. Very good.
And that doesn't make one more right than the other.
Absolutely.
Okie doke.
Thank you for your insight.
You're very welcome.
We'll talk with you again soon. Oh, and today is
The 5th.
October 5th, 2009. So it's a lovely warm day here on the Florida
yeah,
porch.
let's get out of this heat.
All right. Thanks.